Welcome to today's Explainer. We're about to embark on an absolutely incredible journey today, going all the way from the vibrant, colorful world of fine art straight into the chilling depths of Gothic horror. And we're doing it all through the lens of vocabulary. We're going to take the words from Unit 9 of our source material and watch them literally come alive in two completely different universes.
So, how exactly do you capture an extraordinary life or a terrifying night using just a few letters? It's a really fascinating question, right? Because, as we'll see, words are so much more than just definitions sitting on a page. They're the vital building blocks we use to convey the entire spectrum of human emotion. Whether you're painting a masterpiece or writing a timeless nightmare, the precision of your vocabulary is, well, it's everything.
Here is our roadmap for this explainer. First, the artist's ordeal. Second, words that paint pictures. Third, defining key terms. Fourth, choosing the right word. And finally, vocabulary in Dracula. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The Artist's Ordeal, a Story of Struggle. We're going to dive into the life of Marc Chagall, easily one of the most celebrated artists of the 20th century, whose early life was defined by extreme hardship.
Just think about the sheer geographical and historical span of Chagall's life. He was born in 1887 to an Orthodox Jewish family in Vitebsk, which was a small port city in Russia. From there, he moved to St. Petersburg to study art, then to the cosmopolitan hub of Paris, and eventually had to flee to the United States into exile during the horrors of World War II in 1941. He eventually reached absolutely incredible heights of international acclaim, proudly standing in front of his famous peace-stained glass window at the United Nations in 1964. But getting to that point was definitely not easy. Before creating those immense, beloved murals, he had to overcome some massive barriers.
Our source text uses some incredibly powerful words of struggle to describe his early life. It tells us he grew up in a downtrodden or oppressed family where money was super tight. His father actually tried to stifle, or smother, his artistic ambition, wondering how the kid could possibly support himself on an artist's puny, undersized income. When he first went to St. Petersburg, he absolutely floundered. He struggled and thrashed clumsily through his studies. His days working as a servant just to pay the bills were a true ordeal, a deeply painful experience. And yet, despite all this poverty and struggle, his confidence in his talent never eroded or wore away.
Moving right along to Section 2, Words that Paint Pictures, the Power of Expression. Let's see how Chagall finally finds his artistic footing.
This piece, titled Birthday from 1915, literally defies gravity. It perfectly captures that overwhelming emotion of being deeply in love. Chagall believed he saw things that regular people just didn't, and he certainly wasn't going to be just a humble bystander in the world. He infused his canvases with this exact energy, creating vital, lively paintings. I mean, size and scale were often completely ignored, allowing people to literally fly in the sky. His art was living, breathing, and absolutely essential to his very being. The text actually notes he was enticed or lured back to his hometown by his fiancée, Bella Rosenfeld. She served as his lifelong muse and is described beautifully in our source text as a regal, cultured woman, someone possessing this stately, almost majestic presence.
It was when Chagall returned to Paris that his distinctive visual style truly began to take shape. His graphic images, meaning they were highly descriptive, vivid, and lifelike, truly accelerated. His development just moved faster, quickening as he absorbed the raw energy of the city. He even famously said, "My art needed Paris like a tree needs water."
All right, Section 3, Defining the Key Terms, Synonyms and Antonyms. To really master these vocabulary terms, we have to understand their boundaries, what they mean, and just as importantly, what they absolutely don't mean. Comparing words side by side like this reveals their nuances. For instance, to accelerate is to hasten or quicken, while its direct antonym is to decelerate or slow down. Similarly, a casual remark is haphazard and offhand, showing very little concern. The exact opposite of that would be something highly formal, serious, and completely premeditated. We've also got some highly context-specific words here. Take canvass, which means to gather opinions or survey a neighborhood for a political candidate. Then there's quibble, meaning to evade a point by twisting words or splitting hairs over minor details. And look at ratify. This one specifically means to give formal approval or endorse something, like an amendment to the Constitution. But what if you want to do the exact opposite? You would veto or cancel it.
Section 4, Choosing the Right Word. Interactive practice. Let's make this active and test our retention right now. Take a quick second to mentally choose the bold-faced word from the options that best completes each of these 3 sentences. For number 1, is a quiet citizen a bystander or an enticer? For number 2, is the blown away earth parched or graphic? And for 3, in spite of setbacks, do we persist or quibble? Lock in your answers.
Okay, let's see how you did. If you picked bystander, parched, and persist, you nailed it. You perfectly applied these words to democracy, droughts, and determination. A quiet citizen shouldn't be a mere bystander taking no part. The dry, hot wind blows away parched earth, and through setbacks, we must persist and persevere.
And now for a completely different vibe. Section 5, Vocabulary in Dracula, a Gothic pivot. We're going to take a sharp turn and demonstrate the incredible versatility of this exact same list.
This dramatic quote immediately shifts our tone from the bright, vital joy of Marc Chagall's art straight to a dark, miserable tomb surrounded by dead flowers. It is the exact same English language, but used to paint an entirely different psychological landscape.
Stoker uses the word gruesome here not just to mean something unappealing or ugly, but to evoke a truly ghastly, revolting, and horrifying atmosphere. The tomb isn't just dark, it's physically sickening to witness. He continues painting this dark picture in another excerpt by describing a patient in an asylum who sinks into a deep melancholy. This patient sits in a corner, brooding with this dull, sullen, and woe-begone look on his face. It perfectly encapsulates a heavy, oppressive sadness and gloom.
We see other words from our unit seamlessly woven into the terror, too. The character Lucy's survival of a vampire attack is described as a terrible ordeal, a total nightmare or painful test. We see a husband casually and offhandedly mentioning her unusually deep sleep, completely unaware of the looming danger. And later, the heroes literally have to revive a fainting victim by moistening his parched, intensely dry lips. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought to ponder. Whether you're describing a vibrant, vital triumph of the human spirit like Marc Chagall or a gruesome, melancholy night like Bram Stoker, words are the ultimate tools you use to paint your universe. Mastery of these words gives you the power to share your exact vision with the world. So ask yourself, what reality are you going to paint with your words today?